everyone, welcome back to another video here. We have a nice and lovely TWAB here. This is going to be the final TWAB time of Season of the Witch. And I apologize for not really posting a lot of Destiny 2 stuff recently. However, I am a busy man, and Destiny 2 has kind of been, as of recently. Next season, I am hoping, don't worry, when the dungeon comes out, I will definitely be posting a guide to the dungeon. I will also be streaming Day 1 Dungeon with my girlfriend and a really good friend of ours. So we will be streaming that. I don't necessarily have a time quite yet. It'll probably be around 2 o'clock because I will probably be working. So it'll probably be around 2 or 3 o'clock if she has the day off. If not, it'll be a little bit later. But yeah, we will be live streaming at some point during the night of Prime Reactions to that. Now, first on the TWAB, we got a nice good old collab here with Geralt with Witcher 3. If it's anything like the previous seasons, it is going to be available only for silver and only for one for each class. Honestly, these really should be a bundle together. You should really have to buy each one individually, in my opinion. The Warlock looks pretty good. So the Hunter probably, in my opinion, looks the best. I do like the Titan, but I only like the chest and the helmet. The legs, I have some other pieces that could go better. Same with the arms. The mark is pretty cool, but we have an Iron Banner shader that turns cloth into chainmail already. Also here, it looks like we've got the seasonal artifact. So let's take a look at this. We're going to take a look by column. We got anti-barrier sidearm, which I'm not a huge fan of because taking care of barriers from a distance is really helpful, so Arbalest will probably stay on. Unstoppable hand cannon, which is good. Unstoppable bow, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of either, but okay. Overload auto rifles, I like. Overload pulse. So far I like the auto, keeping in mind the weapon types that we have and everything. Auto rifles and hand cannons are probably going to be my go-tos. For the second column here, it doesn't look like we have anything for special or heavy yet, which honestly Bungie should really have at least one special and one heavy anti-champion. Okay. Flame, Fiber, and Freeze combine Solar Strand. Combines the Solar Strand and Solar Stasis, siphons mods into one. Doesn't really matter, Harmonic Siphon only costs 1. This is a useless ass mod. Kindling Trigger. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. Kind of not that great because the only Guardian class currently that can apply Radiant reliably without taking a penalty is Warlock and mostly Hunter, because Hunter has a Radiant dodge. And I can't remember if the Phoenix Dive applies Radiant, but Titans can't really apply Radiant to us very well without the melee one. And Incandescent exists. Blast Radius final blows with rocket launchers and grenade launchers grant ammo charge. I already have an added clearing rocket for every single subclass, so that's going to be great. Origin perk, the Sundering. This is definitely a new perk. Nano Munitions is also probably new. Nano Tracer is from Neomuna. And Nano Tracer rocket origin traits. Additionally, weapons with these traits will always be overcharged. Increase ability damage to Taken and Scorn, which will be nice. Column 3, Flint Striker, Rapid Solar Weapon Precision Hits, and Rapid Solar Weapon Final Blows grant Radiant. That could be good because Radiant grants a bonus in damage. This is more so for Scout Rifles, but Rapid Solar Weapon Final Blows is going to be really good. Torch, while Radiant deal increased weapon damage to combatants affected by Strand and Stasis debuffs. So we're going with the Fire and Ice deal. Heart of the Flame, casting your Solar Super grants allies nearby, allies Radiant, and increases the damage of your super for each ally nearby. Holy shit, Titans are going to be, absolutely strong this season. In case you don't know, Burning Maul with the Pyrogale Gauntlets already does an insane amount of damage, and that getting increased during, Crota Zen, for example, while giving everybody increased, it's just holy shit, it's going to be so good. Definitely Pyrogales is just going to be absolute meta. Proves the benefits provided by Noble Deeds. Noble Deeds comes from, I forget what this, Season of Defiance, I think that's the one that came out with. Every single season to start off with has been Cabal and Hive, so it's hard to remember which is which, but the one that came out with Lightfall that season, that's that one. Unsatiated Hunger is Kingsfall. Head Rush? I don't remember. That might be this current season. Dragon's Vengeance! Dragon's Vengeance could be this season's, the seasonal, or the dungeons. The Sundering could be the dungeons, but oh my god, Dragon's Vengeance sounds such a cool origin trait. While your super is nearly fully charged, ability Final Blow says this is kind of useless. I'd rather it be fully charged or nearly. I'd rather it also be fully charged because that would help like Holify Heart, for example. Pick it up and overpower. Pillar of Ice. So far, everything has been solar, which is great, but like stasis needs help the most. Killing an encased combatant spawns stasis crystals. Causing a damage with a solar ability weakens champions. Ooh, and bosses for short duration. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, my damage rotation for Pyro Gales is casting the super, using it, then nading, which that would apply weaken and then limit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna become a damage king. Rocket launchers are especially effective against overload. So, overload rockets, okay, that's fine, but rockets have to be able to overload on the first rocket. This is kind of counterintuitive. I'd rather be unstoppable or barrier. This is a questionable decision. Dragon Spite, breaking a combatant shield with a strand or stasis weapon has a chance to suspend or freeze that combatant. Okay, I do like the aspect of wearing Season of the Wish armor increases the chance of this and this. I kind of like that. There was this final column. Let's keep in mind we will only be able to have 2 at the same time. Damaging unraveled targets with a weapon, occasionally sponsored threadling. Shattering encased targets and stasis crystals deal increased damage. Shattering a stasis crystals release shards of ice that damage slow targets. Titans. Stasis Titans are the only one that can actually reliably spawn stasis crystals with our super. This could very well bring Stasis Titans back up a little bit, but the biggest issue is Solar. Solar is getting so much help, it's really going to overshadow everything that Stasis has to offer, unfortunately. While Radiant, Solar Precision Final Blows causes combatants to ignite. Again, another Solar one. Solo Operative is back. Let's go! Okay, so the only thing preventing me from reaching rank 11 is completing a newest solo dungeon. Thank God Solo Operative is back, so I can really work on some solo dungeon stuff. Because I really want to solo Grasp of Avarice for the emblem. But other than that, I need to solo this upcoming dungeon. And then Argent Ordnance is back. Firing a rocket launcher consumes 1 stack of armor charge. I wonder if it's just 1 node or if it actually consumes all of it. Because if it just consumes 1 thing, I'm fine. But if it consumes all of it, granting increased damage and reload speed until you reload, or to reload to start the next rocket launcher. The surges are gonna outweigh Argent Ordnance, unfortunately. So I'm kind of hoping it's just consumes 1 node. Honestly, Hail the Storm and Razor Precision are probably going to be your best ones. Unless you're solo, and then Solo Operative's going to be better. Okay, ability change is coming next week. Okay. Preview, ensuring that abilities, particularly those on our longer cooldown tiers, are meeting our intended cost to output ratio. Reducing cases of player survivability that exceed our power bar. Ooh. Making first steps at Well of Radiance and Ward of Dawn tuning. Taking a tuning plus stasis abilities. Okay. Okay. Let's get started. We've landed on... just gives them extremely... Okay. A perk that... So it looks like they're introducing a new perk that grants 10% grenade energy activation. Okay. A perk that grants 10% grenade energy... What? Yeah, I need to read this whole thing. We believe that powerful abilities need to come at a meaningful cost to the player to force a difficult decision that fits best in their build. To put it plainly, we're not hitting that goal. There are many build crafting avenues that grant flat chunks of ability energy and ignore ability cooldown tiers. This is true somewhat, but I'm trying to think about Titans. only thing I can think of the exact armor mods themselves, and not necessarily anything else. I can't think of any exotic that does this, except maybe Holofire Heart. Not Holofire Heart. Because Holofire is depending on if your super is full or not, and if you're standing in a sunspot. Heart of Animal Slight. This gives them extremely inconsistent value depending on what grenade and their class ability. I agree that this extends to Demolitionist as well, I believe, probably. A perk that grants 10% grenade energy on activation results in a cooldown reduction of 6.4 seconds to Fireball, which results in a cooldown reduction of 15.2 seconds for Lightning Grenade. Oh, so it's going to benefit lower cooldown grenades rather than slower cooldowns. Okay, interesting. When players stack these build-crafting elements together, it results in long cooldown abilities having up 10 that's dramatically higher than what we intend for their potency level. Okay. With season of which we're taking. Okay. Some example: a perk that grants a base value of 10% grenade energy on activation results in a cooldown reduction. Okay, so they're evening out the cooldown reduction, which is phenomenal. It is absolutely fantastic, because an issue with Demolitionist and why I use lower cooldown grenades is just the fact of the matter is the longer cooldown grenades, like Arc for example, Pulse Grenade and Storm Grenade, they don't nearly do as much for their specific niches, and Arc Bolt just does everything so much better, and it's faster. So this is a good change. I like this change. I guess they're also going to be doing it for melee and class abilities, which is fine as well. I was more so concerned with grenades. Melee, I'm not so much sure. Staying alive as a roster player, elected difficulty and activities have expanded. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Woven Mail they're nerfing. Reduced damage resistance versus PvE combatants from 55% to 45%. I agree with this change. Woven Mail is too strong. Me and Psycho, a friend of ours, carried Torchic, Torchic, she's just now getting back into the game and everything. We basically carried her through Ghost of the Deep. Like, she was not active at all, really, in Ekthar's room, and if y'all know that room, a lot of enemies. Psycho was just using a Strand, Syntheseps, and Monte Carlo build, because he was getting Woven Mail constantly with Banner of War. I was just running a super high damage build with my Power Gales, Throwing Hammer, and we just carried Ekthar. There was about 4 faces between the 4 of us, but it was just us 2. And it was absolute insanity. But yeah, Woven Mail doesn't need a nerf, because it was like not dying ever. Restoration's heal rate is being reduced again? This makes Cure really gonna have to carry, similar to Woven Mail. I really don't think Restoration needed a nerf. I think, if anything, give Cure a nerf, but not Restoration. It just changes the Throwing Hammer and Soul Invictus? I'm worried. Okay, they're reducing the HP by a little bit. Okay, in PvE and PvP. And they're reducing it, Restoration times 2, pretty drastically. Devour's also getting reduced from a full heal to 100 SP or 100 HP. What am I on? Okay, that's more for Devour's more for Warlocks. For Void, each Guardian class has kind of a separate, like for Titans it's Overshield. Warlocks it's Devour, and for Hunters it's Void. I'm for the most part covered Titan stuff though. Sprint and slide melees. Here's what I do not like about Sprint. If you whiff, it is extremely hard to recover from it. If you whiff that blinding shoulder charge, specifically the arc one and the solar one, their tracking needs to get improved drastically if that charge is going to be taken up. Because holy shit, if I miss, I'm dead. No matter what, I can't even sprint and get it back up again. That I do not like. Okay, sprint and slide activated melees can no longer be activated after the player fires their weapon during a slide. This is more so for PvP, which I'm okay with all these changes. I don't normally fire my weapon while I'm sprinting for a shoulder charge and sliding, so that makes it they did it for Stasis Titan. I feel like Stasis Titan needs the most help out of everything. Timber Strike is a hunter ability. I am not bothering with this. No! Bughammer! No! Bughammer, Band of War! No, Titans! Please! No, okay, here's what I'm gonna preface this. Band of War needs a nerf. I'm sorry, it does need a nerf, and Boghammer honestly does need a nerf. It is honestly too strong. I do think it does need some sort of cooldown between the times you can use it. I think the cooldown should only be available if you on a kill. If you kill an enemy with a Boghammer, I think it needs to consume half a charge. I think that just simply needs to happen. Banner of War increased the number of enemy defeats necessary to level up the banner by approximately double, increasing the amount of time added per enemy defeat at each level to compensate. That's a good change. That was very depending. Fix an issue where unpowered swords were being granted a damage boost by Banner of War. I'm actually fine with this change. I thought they were going to nerf the healing aspect, and that's where I thought it should have been. Ugh! Throwing Hammer! When picked up, now returns melee energy over 1.4 seconds rather than instantly? Damn! Increased projectile tracking strength up by about 20%. Okay, I'm glad the projectile tracking strength is increased. Oof. Oh, you'd really have to be smart about it. Here's what I'm going to suggest to people. You need to have impact induction, and you need to have the other one as well. You need to have the melee and the nade one simultaneously, and you need to have solar nades to generate those fire spreads, or you need to have on swarm nades. Those are going to be your two best grenades. Swarm nades for the kills to grant fire spread, and solar nades to build up scorch stacks, so you can get those melee back. I'm pretty sure you can make a build to where they basically come back instantly. Darkhammer finally got a nerf. Oh my god! Holy shit! Solar Invictus reduced maximum sunspot duration from 20 seconds to 12 seconds? This duration is only ever reached when the player is standing inside the sunspot. Sunspot duration without the owner standing inside it remains unchanged at 5 seconds. Oh my god, Lordly Splendors is completely in the ground now. Lordly Splendor, don't use it anymore. Just being perfectly honest, with the Sunspot duration nerf, Lordly Splendors is officially not a good exotic to run. Honestly, run Hollowfire hard so you can spread those sunspots, or Paragales if you're running a solar exotic. And honestly, unfortunately, this actually indirectly nerfs Phoenix Cradle too. Phoenix Cradle, in my opinion, also really isn't worth running either unless you are in a raid, with them lasting this short of amount of time. Oh my god. The Titans are getting nerf after nerf after nerf. Holy shit. Well, and Ward of Dawn. Increased base cooldown, which I'm okay with. Is that it? Is that fucking it? Is that just fucking it? Okay, well that nerf really doesn't really... Okay. In GMs, it's going to be better to run Bubble. I am sorry, WoW users, but with Le Monarch especially, and that's synergizing with Void so well, all you have to do is run Le Monarch and Bubble, and you will have that Bubble extremely fast. I was hoping they would do a little bit more for in terms of Well of Radiance and nerfing that. I was hoping they would nerf the damage increase so that you would need. I preferred the meta of needing to run Bubble and Well of Radiance. Okay, Stasis. Okay. I don't remember exactly what these do. It's been such a long time since I've ran Stasis. But I doubt this will affect my builds very much. Holy shit. Just looking at some of these, okay. Okay, I can only see really... Okay, I can see all the aspects here. Okay. Whisper of Hedrons. I have it up on the app currently. So currently, it dramatically increases weapon stability. This is a PvP. PvP removes the 10 strength penalty. PvP, whatever. Whisper of Impetus. Damaging targets with a stasis. Melee. Reloads your stowed weapons and grants you... This really isn't that good outside of PvP either. Whisper of Shards. Shattering a stasis crystal. Temporarily boost your grenade recharge rate. This one is really good. It no longer provides plus 10 resilience. Oh my god. Whisper of Hunger? Was it even that good to begin with? I never used it. Oh, it just says melee builds. Nerf to 20 strength, which I agree with. Whisper of Bonds. Defeating frozen generates a robot power. It's also useless. That's terrible. All of these are not great changes. They're either neutral or don't really shake up anything. None of these help. None of these help stasis. This is for hunters. For titans. We're walking back a few changes. Thank fucking God. Now targets don't need to be able to air brake with the movement mode or being splattered. That's great. We're more comfortable giving more of an offensive spice. Thank God. The Stasis Titan melee is the worst. I would argue that it is one of the worst melees in all of Destiny 2. Holy shit. It carries you a little bit of distance, but the base melee can't kill a regular ass thrall. And you're likely to miss. Now slows players on hit? That's for fucking PvP. Oh my fucking God. Fix an issue where Shiver Strike would not function. They're not doing anything with it. Okay, well, let's see if there's anything in the description. Okay, for Shiver Strike, we've restored its slow application on players. This is for PvP! Which, by the way, fun fact, Stasis Titan has had the lowest Stasis Titan out of all Guardian classes and their subclasses. Stasis Titan has been the lowest for a very long time. But it needs help in PvE. Because who the fuck runs Stasis? Glacial Quake now freezes players on nearby cast, which kind of needs to, but on cast freeze impulse size. Oh my God. This is for This is for fucking PvP. It needs help in PvE. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God. Now, I'll be honest here. For Stasis Titan specifically, you need Tectonic Harvest. Especially if you are in a fire team, the rest of them are useless. Unless you like to slide. Tectonic Harvest and Diamond Lance are the only ones that are worth using. Stasis Titans are in the same fucking position. Are you serious? Stasis Titans are in the exact same fucking position as we were previously. It's just a slight PvP buff. What the fuck? That shit is ass. Okay, Glacier. Okay. Okay. Thankfully, they've included some grenade changes as well. I am hoping this is not just for Stasis Warlocks, but Glacier Grenade based cooldown, which is fucking amazing. Holy shit. Because Stasis Titans specifically benefit the most from Glacier Grenades, and it has way too long of a cooldown. Especially since it doesn't directly, at least most of the time in PvP, when I use it personally, when I see it used, it's mostly defensive as sort of like an extra barricade, not as an offensive thing. Cold Sap Grenades, changes arming, shape size, okay, tracking strength, ramps down, okay. Increasing the bonus damage that special weapons deal to frozen targets, which is better, okay. But I guess this will help with, there's a fragment currently that lets primary ammo weapons deal better damage to stasis crystals. So if you're using a special weapon stasis, then I guess that's fine. A new stasis key where we're... These aren't the only changes to stasis we have in the works. Calling Frost Armor and addressing some of the player feedbacks regarding survivability when running stasis, particularly when not using Whisper of Rhyme and Whisper of Chains. Yes, both of these basically gives you an overshield. Frost Armor would be so good. But I guess these are coming in the future. Additional tuning, okay, adding additional behavior for harvest aspects. Holy shit, let's go. The only good thing that come from this is that we're getting something called Frost Armor, which will be great. I wonder if they're gonna take a page out of Icefall Mantle and make it a strong overshield type of deal, but making it slower, or if it's gonna be a damage resist. I don't know what I would prefer. Just in case it would make sense if we were slower. Maybe making it slower, but if enemies melee us, for example. I guess if you wanted to work into that Titan fantasy, Bungie, listen to some ideas. Make it exotic to where with this Frost Armor, when you get Frost Armor, enemies that melee you take damage themselves. Sort of like Feedback Fence, but like after a certain amount of hits, being able to explode in a sort of a dust field explosion. That'd be kind of interesting. I'm curious what they're going to use for frost armor. This could be very cool. I like this. That's the only change that I like, and the Glacier Grenade cooldown, which Hunter Stasis Titan is not going to be worth using, even with the new stasis changes and the new aspects. It is not going to be worth using. Sorry, but Solar, Arc, and Void are going to be the best classes by far, and Strangan didn't really get nerfed a lot either. Okay, coming Strand and coming exotic armor changes. Okay, like I will only mention some of the Hunter stuff, but like that's already enough kills. Trust got him a buff, that's nice. Celestial Nighthawk, precision kills creating super energy. Oh, nice. Titan, Severance and Closer, I don't care about. Peregrine Greaves, Wormgod's Caress, the Burning Fist exotic has been reworked. It now is a meter that increases with melee kills and finishers and decays over time. Interesting. Ashen Wake. Ooh, Fusion Grenades now stun unstoppable champions. Which impacts now stun champions. So funnily enough, Ignition stun unstoppables, so this is kind of a useless one for Fusion Grenades, but okay. I guess it helps though. Syntheseps. While we wanted to bring the generic melee bonus down a bit to give space for specialists, removed extended melee lunge distance. This is for glaives. Reduced the PvE surrounded melee damage bonus to okay. Increased the damage. Increased glaive melee damage bonus. I definitely prefer the idea of Syntheseps leading more into the glaives. Precious Scars has always been useless. Kills with this weapon. Matching your subclass. Now apply Restoration Tier 1 for 3 seconds of PvE. Okay, okay. This could have some synergy, maybe stasis, if anything. But Warlocks, I'm not seeing anything that I personally normally use. Okay. For Titans, I was hoping to see rework to Mask of the Quiet One, honestly. Most of these reworks are to exotics I don't use. Not a single one of these is exotics on Titan. I don't use any of them. All of these exotics on Hunter, the only one that I ever use are Celestial and Shards of Galanor, and for Warlocks, absolutely none of them. I don't use any of them. Oh, also they're changing Aeons in general. Okay, so they're changing Aeons in general. Aeons are in each class, but I don't ever use them. Okay, Sector. Oh my god, I have to look at which one. Which one does which? I generally don't really run Aeons, though. Dude, there's just stuff that I'd rather run, and I don't usually like going for finishers. If I'm being perfectly honest, I usually just kill them. Okay, I'm trying to look at Aeons. Okay, well, I can only... Okay, let's see what these changes are. This has been reworked to all about providing your allies significant bonus weapon damage against powerfuls. The bonus grenade and melee energy has been moved to be the special benefit granted to Aeon called allies using a different sect. Okay. Rapid precision is deal 20% damage to marked targets once a target is first marked nearby Aeon called allies. Okay. Okay. Sect of Insight. Nearby Aeon called allies who do not have Sect of Insight rule equipped no longer gain a bonus to weapon damage for a short time. Instead, they grant a burst of super energy. Okay. Sect of Varna provides damage resistance against combatants when an ally dies or is resurrected. When you cast your super, nearby allies no longer gain an instant burst of healing or overshield. Instead, nearby critically wounded gain damage resistance. As long as they stay near you. You Aeon lovers out there, that's going to be helpful for you guys. This seems like more synergy between Aeons people. Armor mod changes. Heavy-handed, firepower, and Reaper. They now have a 10-second cooldown for generating an orb of power. Damn. Reaper also requires the kill to be secured within 10 seconds of using your class ability. Ooh. Okay. Melee kickstart, grenade kickstart. I don't use kickstarts. Right? I think... Hold on a second. I forget what the mod is called. Sometimes on the different armor pieces. Stasis. I don't really ever use melee anything like melee kickstart related on the legs. No, I use the Orb of Power related ones. So these don't matter to me, but there you are. Momentum Transfer, that's the melee one, bolstering detonation. No, wait. That's for class ability, I'm pretty sure. Now provide 12%, 17%, 24%, and 3 stacks respectively, and required a powered melee attack. Okay, I'm fine with that change. Outreach and Bomber. Now provides 12, 17, 20%. Ooh, that's good. I use Bomber a lot. I'm assuming the stacks making the armor charge. Outreach, Bomber, and Distribution. Outreach and Bomber provides distribution. Energy provided is further based on the cooldown of the class ability used. The shortest cooldown being reducing it by 60%. Thruster, that's an indirect nerf to Thruster. This is for Fire Team, Cutscene, Archive. Okay, that's just updating it. Season of the Undying. Story moments. That's for if y'all are missing some story stuff. I'm not going to play any of them. Spire of Savings. Okay. Really trying to get people to purchase stuff in the Bungie store. I'm still waiting on my ring, Bungie. My core design ring. Okay, there's your... Ooh, that is some pretty cool ribbons are. That is a pretty cool ribbons are. Okay, alright, I like that. Alright. That is the gigantic TWAB we just got today. Anyways, though, on that note, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I don't know how the Hunters and Warlocks feel. I feel like the Hunters got some buffs. Warlocks, I don't really know. Everything that they changed doesn't really impact me at all. I feel like Titans got nerfed drastically. I think Titans got nerfed unnecessarily. I think Titans got the biggest nerfs because next season being centered around Solar. I gotta be honest. A lot of the times when I'm running raids, if I'm not with a buddy of mine, Psycho, that is a Titan, I am the only Titan in raids. This should not be the case, really. Most of the time, it's a bunch of Warlocks or a bunch of Hunters. I'm usually the only Titan. Funnily enough, I ran a raid yesterday, and it was the first time that we actually got another Titan in the Fire Team in a season and a half. In a full season and a half, it was the first time that the extra Titan was not already in the Fire Team that I have been in. I think there, if at all, there's been one or two. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely absurd. PvP, I don't really care. Titans are there. But even out and about, you mostly see Hunters, Warlocks, and Titans occasionally. Some Titans. And I'm sorry, but since Titans legitimately, Titans make up the least amount of the player base, then it's Hunters. Well, Hunters make up the most amount of the player base, then Warlocks, and then Titans last. You gotta put some more in the other Titan subclass stuff. Not just Solar, but the Titans are getting nerfed way too much here. Way too much. Stasis needed buffs that Titans just aren't getting. The Stasis Titan melee needs drastic buffs in PvE. It can't fucking kill a normal red bar enemy. It's just your basic ass bitch thrall enemy. It can't kill most of the time. It has to hit an extremely direct impact, then it can kill. But if it's like a red bar knight, good luck, buddy. It's not killing that. Which is fine, but at least with Arc Blind, it spreads blind, sort of an AoE type deal. That shoulder charge. And the Hammer Titan, you can get a Scorch, you can get an Ignition off of it. But Stasis Titan, you don't get anything besides it slowing that enemy, so it makes it feel like it's supposed to be more of a debuffing melee, but it doesn't have the cooldown of a debuffing melee. And I'm sorry, but most in higher end content where you would need that a debuffing sort of melee, you need to be able to do it at a distance. And unfortunately, the Stasis Titan super fucking sucks because if an enemy could literally jump over the crystals. It can't hit flying enemies whatsoever. And that is an issue with half of the Titan supers, is that they can't fucking hit enemies in the air. That's an issue with Burning Maul, but it's fine since most bosses kind of are on the ground some of the times. But Burning Maul, Glacier Quake, and the Fist of Havoc, Burning Maul is fine with Pyrogames. But Stasis Titan and Fist of Havoc. How often do y'all see Fist of Havoc? What's the common denominator? All of those supers are forced to happen on the ground. It's hard to, you can't really damage enemies that are in the air properly. Against Fallen, good fucking luck, because Shanks are all over the fucking air. Cabal, sure. Hive, sure. Except Cabal tend to jetpack up. So let's eliminate Cabal. So Hive, sure. I don't remember them having any flying enemies besides like Shriekers. From what if I remember correctly. Hive, fine. Taken? Sure, but there's Cabal that jump. Vex, no, because Vex fucking teleports sometimes. And Vex have Harpies. Stasis Titan is just in such a bad state, I wish they would have fixed it. Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.